I call the Weare Park Recreation and Commission, April 12th, 2022 meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So first on the agenda, we have amendments to the agenda, and I have an email that came in this afternoon from Cub Scout Pack 24 that I'm going to add into the agenda, and a last-minute text I got from a Weare baseball coach to add to the agenda. Anybody have any other amendments to the agenda? And also, we may change the order to be in Kristen's favor when she arrives. If it works out, we'll possibly move the application for Chase Park up for Kristen, so she doesn't have to be here for the whole.
Yeah, we have to go to closed session for that.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have
Sure.
to probably do it.
Keep in mind, when you go into your non-public and you turn off that camera.
Yeah, we can't get it back on, so we really
All right,
can't.
so if Kristen's good, we'll leave it, we'll move it to the end then. But that's all, my point is, we'll move it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll change the order in the
Okay.
agenda. Anybody else have any other amendments?
Nope.
Lisa?
Nope.
Okay, all right, so first we have public comment. You don't have to stand or anything, but if you'd like to just tell, it's your, you can stand or you can sit, but just let us know your name.
The video won't hear her if she's not at the podium.
Oh, she's not.
She has to be
oh,
at the podium.
Sorry. Jeez, we're so formal. We're so official.
I was gonna say, I think she has to go there.
All right. So, my name is Jenna Satino. I'm at 46 Ridgeview Road here in Weare. First, I know you guys don't get many people, so I just want to say thank you for volunteering for the board and stuff like that. So I'm here. I realize there's going to be a walkthrough for the tennis courts next week. But I just wanted to I have a couple questions and comments in case I can't make it
Okay.
for the board.
Yes, thank you. Let me call Denise.
Hold on a second, yeah.
So
need
we
to go
have
in.
one more member that's absent, Denise, and she wanted to be in the meeting. She's just not here, so, sorry.
No problem.
Put her by the microphone.
It's Denise.
Hi, Janine. Hi, Denise. It's Janine. So, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can. Can everybody hear her?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So, we started the meeting, and we do have Jenna, and I'm going to say her name wrong, Sentato?
Satino.
Satino
Can you
is
spell
here.
that, please?
S and Sam, Ettino.
And so, go ahead, Jenna. She was just starting to talk about the tennis court with a couple questions. We're ready.
Yes. Okay. So my first question was, and you may not be able to answer this, but what authority does the Board of Selectmen have in deciding to open the courts? Shouldn't this be a decision for the Park and Rec Commission? For example, does the Board of Selectmen decide when to open the ball fields in town or Chase Park? I just think this is delegated to the Park and Rec Commission. So before the meeting tonight, I went online to try to find the rules and regulations for the Board of Selectmen and for the Parks and Recs Commission. I couldn't find either one on the website. So I'm just not sure who's in charge of this decision.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the board has the ultimate control over the town-owned
Board of
properties.
Selectmen.
The Board of Selectmen does.
We answer to them.
We answer to
Okay.
them. And when there's a safety issue, that's when, am I correct? There's a safety,
Concern.
There's a safety concern.
Concern.
So the Board of Selectmen have the ultimate oversight of that.
Okay.
That's
We-
why we're going to be doing a site walk on that on Monday evening at 6:30.
Right.
We
And that's
take,
the one that I'm not sure I can make or not. So.
we take care of all the menial stuff.
I'm sure not menial.
feels
It
like
feels it.
It's got some, the cracks have gotten worse, and we're concerned that, people will will trip and hurt themselves or do further damage before it gets resurfaced.
Oh,
And it's scheduled to be resurfaced. We're first on the list. We tried to get it done the end of last year. Unfortunately, just due to scheduling, and they couldn't get it done.
Okay. And I'm sure that'll be addressed at some point when they're going to do it this year.
That's what That's what Denise has really been putting a ton of work and effort into it. This whole process has been it's because it's such an expensive project and we don't have a budget that meets it. Denise really has taken the lead on this. And it's just been, it's kind of like the boat ramp. The boat ramp took forever. This is taking forever.
What are your other questions, Jenna?
Yeah, sure. So, to address your point about the cracks, so I played on the courts last year at least 20 times. So I'm aware of what the cracks were like last year, and I do understand the were
Yeah.
cracks. I did go to the courts last week, and I looked at them through the fence. And I didn't see any huge differences from last year. I do think there was a larger crack along where the net would be, but I don't think that would be a safety concern because if you're playing tennis or pickleball, you're not at the net. I mean, literally, it would be underneath the net, in between the poles. So I don't see why the town couldn't do what they did last year, which is let people play on it. And then when the company's ready to resurface, close the court, so that can be done.
And we're pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. We
Okay.
just wanted to, I think what's happening is too, I think the frost is maybe holding on a little bit longer because the cracks have even gotten smaller just in the last,
No, they reduced, so there was quite a discrepancy. So I've been on the courts a few times in the last couple of weeks. So there was a discrepancy, a pretty big
they were like
discrepancy.
really trip
Of
worthy.
if just walking on them, there was a tripping hazard, and you were with me that day, one of those days. Now that's gone down, but the cracks are definitely larger in some areas. I don't have measurements, but I know I was putting my finger in them, and there's actually some pieces of the court have fallen into the cracks now in certain sections. So, I mean, that wasn't happening last year, where there are like pieces like this that have just broken off and fallen into the cracks. So that to me is the difference. But I should have measured them last year. I tried to fill them in.
Yeah.
And where
Denise
they
would-
are now, I never would try to fill them in. Last year, I went around and tried to fill them in, or what was the year before?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, I tried to fill them in. So they've gotten a lot bigger since 2 years ago when I tried to fill them. It's just,
And in response to your concern about you playing on them, and that makes perfect sense, I agree it's not there. But when we open the doors, we open them for everybody.
Oh, I
So
understand that.
what about when the kids go out there play and nobody's supervising, they're gonna trip, they're gonna fall, they're gonna break a tooth, town's responsible. So unfortunately, we can't, if we open it for one, we have to open it for all.
Oh, I understand that, but I have two things to adjust that. One is, does the town, you open the soccer fields to people. There are divots, there's holes in the soccer fields. People can trip on that. It's not like you're going out to the soccer fields
Yeah.
and checking to make sure
And
there's
when they get-
holes in the
yeah.
soccer fields.
They're
and
not-
when
well,
they get
they're
bad,
not
we
op-
have to go
they're-
in and help.
They're not open yet, and our landscaper does go and do some work too for that type of stuff, or
But
they're opening
nature
now.
is nature, and there's gophers
But
and
this is
holes.
asphalt, that's slightly different, so.
So the second thing that I have is that, and, where was it? So from what I understand, New Hampshire Revised Statute 508.14, it provides that an owner occupier of land for recreational purposes will not be liable for personal injury. I'm not sure if you've contacted the town's attorney, but from what I understand, when you're playing a recreational sport, you're at risk. You sign up to the risk that you might get injured. So I'm not sure the town would be
I'm not
liable.
sure where that RSA follows, that's something we would have to look at.
Yeah, and that's what I'd like you to look at, because
That's-
I don't think the town would be liable if someone were to twist their ankle or a kid. So,
That's that's a really good Board of Selectmen question, because they definitely,
Deal with
we don't
Weare.
talk to the attorney. So if we have attorney questions, we go to the Board of Selectmen, and they address the attorney directly, but that's a really good question.
so, and I understand that concern of someone getting hurt, and I appreciate that.
The only reason right now it's closed is a safety concern. There's no malicious intent, there's nobody saying that, well, let's close it just because. No, me personally as one park member and one selectman, I'm concerned for the safety of the users of that court.
Oh.
And that's why the Board of Selectmen are gonna be meeting there to walk and inspect it, and then, I'm just one vote. We'll see what the other four say.
Okay,
And you're welcome to the walkthrough.
Yeah, no, and I plan on going, but like I said, I'm
Good,
not sure
because
if I
they,
can
they,
make it or not.
most of them don't use the courts, so they also want to hear the opinion of the people that do, so it all matters.
Okay, I guess that was it. I guess my last thought was that I think getting people out, I know there's a lot of retirees and a lot of people use the court in town.
I know,
And
there are
after the
people,
long winter, it'd be nice to get out, especially with this nice
Yeah.
weather we're having.
yeah.
And so I think that kind of outweighs any potential safety or lawsuit concerns
The
that might
delay
happen.
may not be that much of a delay. We're probably jumping ahead, but does Denise have a schedule yet?
I do.
Okay, she does.
I was about to say, you can wait for just a second because Denise
She's
is
been-
going
yeah,
to
she's
provide
been-
us updates on
She's
where
been
it's at.
calling Vermont Rec every other day, so
I got an email from them today, so I will fill the board in.
finally.
Well, can we want to just jump ahead now?
Yeah, because I'm done, I'm done.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Jenna. I'm really glad, and it's good. You're right. We don't get a lot of people in, and we like to hear, and we do want it open. That's
My kids actually want to go play on it.
And you're not
They're
alone. We've-
asking to go out,
You're
play,
not
but-
alone. We've received at least 2 other emails, and I know the town clerk has taken a phone call or 2 because she directly addressed me when I was in there for some other matter.
Yeah.
So you're not alone, and we definitely
Yeah.
want it open, and hopefully the Board of Selectmen will agree with the walkthrough that it's safe. So thank you. Thank you for coming. All right, so Denise, you ready? We'll, next on the agenda is the tennis courts. Call Denise.
Woohoo! Hey, it's good to hear everybody's voice. I wish I was there.
We wish you were here too.
So I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at I want to approach it in 3 phases. One, if everybody had a chance to look at the document that I sent. I was able to do a couple of things. The first 2, if you go past the title page, the first 2 pages,
I don't know if you can see it,
photos,
Dave, the PDF. Yep,
it would be page 2 and 3.
okay.
I was actually able to take the photos that Lisa sent me and find the
I don't know if you
exact
can
same
see.
photos that I took. So I took probably 50 photos of the court in 2020 to send to all the vendors when we did the bid. So I have a ton of photos. So the photo on page 2 is the same photo. They're the same photos 2 years apart. It's just one is backwards. So Lisa was standing at a different side of the court.
Right.
Oh, okay, I was trying to
All
figure
right,
it out.
it's the same crack, a little, one left version, one right version, gotcha.
So the 2 blue circles are the same point in the crack.
Yep,
And as you can see, there's little to no change. And I think as Jenna pointed out, for those of us who have played on these courts for 2, almost 3 years, we probably know the cracks like we know our kids.
Yeah.
Because
probably.
it's not from running. It's when a ball hits the crack, it bounces in an unexpected direction.
Mhm.
So I just presented this photo just to give you an opportunity to compare 2-year difference. And if
That's
you
what she's
notice in
saying.
the
I'm
2020
saying one, this one's
photo,
blurry, so I can't tell
my
if it's the same or
crack
not.
is my photo is a little longer version. That same crack, if you continue, is cracked in 2 places with a vertical crack or a horizontal crack in between it. So again, when you're up there walking the courts, you would have this photo to look at. Page 3, same thing. Lisa has a little broader view, but it's the same crack. You can see the poles in the parking lot. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see
Yep.
there's little to no change in that
Except
particular
Lisa's
crack.
pictures are blurry. No.
Sorry. I can't actually tell from I can't tell. I wish I had measured. I know that I have
don't know,
have
Dave,
some
if you
stuff
got
that fits
Dave,
in
if you-
those cracks this
Well,
year
good.
that I don't think.
So what I did is, from that point on, I was unable to match up the cracks because we were looking, standing in different places. But what I did on page 4 is I just wanted you to see on court 1, if you go up, if you take this document with you, on court 1, court closest to the American Legion, right side, so it would be, if you're looking, just walking the gate to your right, side closest to the library, these are what the cracks have looked like for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
The only reason you see a measuring tape there is for the bids, I was doing some they wanted some estimate of total footage of cracks.
Right.
As Jenna mentioned, near the net, both tennis and pickleball do
It's not
not
the same
play
area, though.
No,
near
I
the
know.
net. But this is
It's
the
funny
way
how much
the
you can
courts
see
have
it.
looked for the last 2 years. On slide 5, we mentioned pieces coming out. I wanted to circle that we've had pieces coming out of the surface for 2 years. So that is not something that is new. Here, this is court 1.
This
If
isn't
you
even
walk
in the
in,
court.
it's the left side of the
Right.
court.
But she's just saying
Almost in
pieces
between
leaving is
1 and
Yeah.
2.
common.
Yeah, Denise, I wasn't even looking at the stuff outside of the play area. Yeah.
This court here, this crack here, most of the time during the summer, is full of grass
Yeah.
and full of anthills. So we
Yeah.
pull the grass and we
I
blow
didn't
off
even look at
the
that one, so I
sand
didn't
from the
notice it.
anthills on a weekly basis. This court crack, I couldn't tell from my photo exactly where on the court it is, but you should be able to find it because it has that distinctive V. But I wanted to show you that there are cracks within cracks,
Yeah.
in pieces within pieces, which, you know, you mentioned, but this
I
is
don't know if
not
you guys can
new.
see it.
This has been there for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you can compare the, whether they've grown or not, but I just, again, giving you something to look at. Page 7, again, I'm pretty sure that this crack is on the back side, so it's the side facing the town hall between courts 1 and 2. And I just use it as an example that there are many what we call double cracks. So they're cracks.
Yep. Yeah, those have been there. Those are the types that have been there. I'm talking about where, yeah, it's hard, it's really hard to explain. I didn't get good photos, I'm sorry.
And Lisa, that's okay. These are just for you guys to take up there if you go next week. Slide 8 is the court number 2. If you're facing it, it's the right side towards the library. Lots of cracks has been in this court.
Yeah.
And again, you just see they go through the whole court. They are double cracks. And if you look real closely, if you walk it, there are probably pieces that are loose in there and have been that way.
Yep.
Slide 9, same thing. It is the left side this time of the same court, second court. You can see feet.
That's
So
the
it's
big
just
V.
outside the pickleball play area and
This was
almost
here from
outside
last year,
the
though.
tennis
Yep.
play area. The white line is tennis. But again, you can see cracks. The arrows show you where we have ant hills and grass that
Yep.
we deal with all year long.
Little
Not
science
to mention,
project.
you can see all the debris from the trees
Mm-hmm.
that are constantly on the surface. And then the last slide is just, I wanted to make everybody aware that around the post,
I know.
it's extremely cracked, has been
Yeah, that's been
since
bad.
we've been playing on the courts. So my only hope with this presentation was to just give you something to look at when you do the walkthrough.
Right, right.
I did get an email today from Vermont Rec. We are on the schedule for sometime in July.
July?
July.
Do I need to call and yell at somebody?
Yeah, you want us all to call?
So I will express a little frustration. I did reach out to Naomi. I haven't heard a word. She said she would call. I don't know if she did call, and that's why we finally got an answer. I will tell you that while I was a little disappointed, we have to have temps over 55 degrees 3 nights in a row for them to even do the courts. So if you think about May, with the potential of frost on any given night, had they scheduled us in May and didn't get 3 nights, then they're going to have to postpone us. So I'm trying to look at the positive. I'm disappointed that it's July, but I would have preferred June. However, I don't want to get them so ticked off that they move us out even further. So I'm trying to walk a fine line.
Right, it's not like we have 5 or 6 other companies chomping at the bit to do this for us.
Exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
yep.
So when the Parks and Recs and the board look at their decision, just keep in mind that almost almost every town now has opened their courts.
Yep.
I'm familiar with many of them, and I can tell you in particular, a couple of them, including Hillsborough, are far worse than Weare. And the towns have opened them with absolutely no plans to fix them. Doesn't mean we have to. I'm just telling you what's happening in other towns. So play has already started, and if we close the courts till April, we're pretty much restricting for 3 months.
You mean till July?
Yeah.
I mean, July,
Mhm.
we're restricting close to 3 months worth of play.
No.
As Jenna mentioned, I think we also need to take into consideration that of all the facilities in the town of Weare, this is probably the only one, other than maybe the lake, but there again, there's a fee there, that really has been utilized heavily by the adult population. Unlike the fields and other areas, rightfully so, mostly used by youth, this is one of the only facilities, recreational facilities for exercise, play, that we have for adult population.
Right.
We have about 90 members in the Weare Pickleball Club, and I know on a given week, there's a couple here in Weare that play tennis Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday mornings. So, and I don't know about the other ones, but I know that those people play on those days. So I do think we have to take into consideration kind of what we're shutting down. I also think we have to understand that fracks alone do not create a safety issue unless they're wide enough for an entire shoe to go into, or that they are so raised that we're going to trip over them.
Yeah, and I think that that's what was happening was I think we were seeing it a little too early, like you were saying, the frost hadn't left yet, and there was a lot of unevenness. I
Yeah,
don't
and I
think
have a-
that's the case now.
It wasn't as uneven when I went back the other day. It had settled down quite a bit. So I'm hoping it's more level
Right.
now.
So I guess, again, I would want you to take into consideration that this is a hard packed, it's an asphalt surface. A crack in and of itself does not create a safety hazard. Now, I understand the concern about additional damage to the cracks, but keep in mind, we've been playing on these for a couple of years, and frankly, kids have been in there with skateboards and other things.
Which they're not supposed to be
I
doing.
think with sneakers and pickleball players, increasing the damage of the cracks, I don't think is a concern. The only concern that I would have is when you have raised surfaces like you have around the nets, the net posts. If those are in the middle of the court, then yes, that would create a safety hazard.
Right, but like what Jenna said, nobody's playing at the
They're
net.
not, yeah, they're
They're
not there.
Tennis doesn't play at the nets. Pickleball does not play at the nets.
Yep.
So I wanted to make sure that everybody saw what those cracks look like. They've been there for years. And then the last thing, and I think Jenna kind of alluded to this, and this is really a question that I have as a new board member, and I want to be extremely respectful, so please interrupt me if I ask the question in the wrong way and it seems like I'm being disrespectful. But I'm trying to understand as a new board member what things go to the Board of Selectmen and what things don't. And let me give you a couple of examples. Last year when I did my inventory, when I took the pictures of all the different fields so that we could have, sort of a picture inventory, I came to the board with two to three areas that I had concerns about. And one was the skateboard park. And I have 3 photos of where there was metal pieces hanging from various locations. And again, I know that we are addressing it. We are buying new equipment. We are working very hard to fix it. Yet, I never saw that go to the Board of Selectmen. And that's used by young kids, mostly unsupervised. So unlike adults, we can make our own decision. Hey, this is not safe. We could get hurt. Unlike kids.
Right.
Makes sense.
Some of
So-
the
To answer your question, I want to hear everything too, but to answer your question while I'm remembering, so basically, someone has to skip over us and go to the Board of Selectmen? Like, for example, we bring some things to the Board of Selectmen, like there's certain decisions we can't make, financial decisions and closing of of parks, decisions like playgrounds with the COVID closures and stuff. But I wasn't even aware that the Board of Selectmen was concerned about the tennis courts until I found out it was on their meeting. So I'm not sure if it was a concerned citizen that went to the Board of Selectmen. And the same with with the skate park. We haven't brought the skate park up to the Board of Selectmen, so it has to be brought to them. But they do have final say over anything we do. They're the controlling body over
Oh,
us.
yeah, and I get that. I just haven't been able to find in their minutes anywhere where the topic came up as a result of citizen complaint. And again, I'm not trying to be, I'm part of Parks and Rec. I'm just trying to understand that when I look at the skateboard park, I look at some of the sharp edges on the playground equipment, which we addressed, but we
Speaking of
didn't
that.
close the park down while we were addressing it. Benches at the gazebo that have rotten spots that somebody could sit on and be injured, and kids are jumping around on them. But we're addressing them. I guess I'm trying to understand, not having looked at in any of the minutes, why is, I'm hoping that the Board of Selectmen will take whatever and Parks and Rec may recommend to keep these closed. I mean, that's our choice to do that. But I think that we have to be very careful that we're consistent, because Jenna brought it up, and I've gotten emails of people asking why the tennis courts and why not the other facilities are not being considered for closure until repair, when they too present safety hazards. And I just, when I'm on any type of committee, I always want to make sure we're consistent. And so I just hope that, we'll be able to make a recommendation, and the Board of Selectmen hopefully will, respect our decision based on community input and safety concerns, because we've allowed other parks or portions of those parks to remain open while we've been waiting for repairs. And I think it's the same thing with the tennis courts. We're waiting for repair. We now have a date. We have the funding. And we have community members who use that court every day who are adults that know when it's safe and not safe. And I think as we as a committee vote on that, I would just hope that we would look at the whole picture and understand that if we close these down, we're impacting a very large number of people. It would be like saying to WAC, for an entire year until we have the fields all redone, none of the kids can use the field.
Right.
We're impacting a lot of adult citizens who are not aware.
Right.
It's
Well,
not like the
Yeah, and
old
we do
days
have
when they were
sections
never
of-
used.
We do have sections
So-
that get closed off, like the lake has something that is really dangerous right now, and there's tape up around it.
The
We've
rebar?
put- The rebar. We've put tape up around other sections where there were trees hanging over. So we've closed off sections of things. I think with the tennis
so maybe
court.
if there's one section
Yeah.
of the court, 'cause
Yeah.
there's 4 courts.
Well, Denise, hold on a second. Let me tell you
think it might be
something.
evened out
In the
now.
last 3 years, as a park member that I've worked with the Board of Selectmen, I've felt that they've really backed us up and saw our side 99% of the time. So I really don't feel that it's going to be a big issue. I think they just want to be reassured that we're making the right decision. And I think they were even going to visit it and do a, earlier, but I think scheduling wise, they just didn't get out there as soon as they were. So I'm not worried that they're gonna want it. They're very supportive of the community and very supportive of the rec department. I've not ever felt where they've really gone against us. So I don't foresee a problem. I just foresee everybody making sure that, they look at it.
And I did communicate to the Weare Pickleball Club that, I felt that the Parks and Rec and Board of Selectmen over the last 2 years have bent over backwards to accommodate all of our requests. And that I asked them all, if they show up at the walkthrough next week, that they be respectful, that they provide positive input. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that there'll be nobody who will be, rude or obnoxious, because I would agree, Janie, before I joined the Parks and Rec, you guys were amazing, and so have the board been. I just think I'm coming from both sides because I'm on the Parks and Rec and I do have to think about safety. That's my job, the safety of the community. At the same time, I wear a hat for a 90-member group that uses a facility in this town that has had a rebirth, if you will.
Yep.
And we've done a lot of work to spruce it up, to take care of it, to go get the money to get it repaired, you know, all of those things. And I just hope that as the decisions are made, if the community members who use it don't see it as a safety
Right,
hazard,
right.
that both our commission and the board would take that into consideration. Because closing for 3 months, and you and I, we all know.
Well, and I think,
July
Denise, I really
could
think that they
be
didn't,
Delayed again, who knows, it's gonna depend on
Right,
the weather.
right.
I think that what I'm guessing that what everybody's been thinking is, hey, this is gonna get repaired at the end of April or the beginning of May, so what's a couple of
Why
weeks?
not- why
Well,
not
we're gonna
wait?
And I
Yeah.
really think that
We-
that's
we were-
probably,
We were led to believe that we, as not only Park Commission, but the Board of Selectmen, that we were gonna be the top of the list.
yeah,
And July doesn't seem like the top of the list to me.
No,
no.
it doesn't.
So it's a whole different, that's a whole different ballgame with
So
that
I
date.
don't know where the miscommunication
So let me-
happened, I don't know
So
if they're
let me,
just not
let
caring
me share with
anymore, or
what
what the,
Vermont Rec has told
obviously
me.
she can't hear me.
So, top of the list
I'll
is
tell her.
difficult because
Right, okay.
there are parts of the state that will see temperatures above 55 prior to wear.
Mhm.
So it's very difficult for them to say, we're gonna put you top on the list, because if they don't have 3 nights in a row over 55 with no rain in the
That
forecast
makes sense.
in Weare, then they can't do us even in May.
Right.
I was hoping for June, and if anybody, again, I had reached out to Naomi and said, maybe as town administrator, you should give them a call, because I was getting a little bit frustrated. So would I like to see July? Absolutely.
Right. So Denise, I don't want to cut you short, but we do have to see all the park, the Chase Park applications as well tonight.
Okay.
And I want to tell you that don't worry about mean and nastiness. The Board of Selectmen handles that all the time with a grain of salt. I've been to so many meetings that they don't even bat an eyelash when people throw fit. So don't worry about that. I think that we'll have awesome news to tell you April 18th, and if I make it, I might even call you and walk around with you on speaker.
Well,
You don't
I
have a
was
half
going
hour
to, I know there's a number of people going from the Weare Pickleball Club. I
Muted
was gonna
speaker.
ask somebody to get me on FaceTime.
Right.
We'll be on the road, but
Right.
we should be in a campground by the time
Okay.
the meeting starts.
All right.
I would like to call in, but I guess my only plea to the committee is I've presented you with everything I can think of, thinking about safety, but
Yep.
also really looking at the whole picture. And I'm hoping that Parks and Recs, will make a recommendation that, we should really think about opening these courts.
Right.
So they are prepared. And if there's one section, one side that needs to be closed off, like
Right.
we do at the lake,
Right.
we still have
Right.
3 other courts we can play on.
Right. Right. We want the same thing you want.
We want it all
Denise.
open.
I know you do.
We're
We
here
want
with
it open and
you.
we want to not get sued.
All
I
right.
know you do. I'm trying to wear 2 hats here.
Yep.
And so, I want to make sure that next week, everybody who shows up from the community is behaves themselves.
Right. I'm not worried about that. Overall, this community, I think it impresses people when it comes down to it. So don't worry. So if you want to stay on for the meeting to listen, you can. Otherwise, if you want to go, you can say goodbye. It's up to you.
If it's not a problem on your phone, I'm happy to stay
Okay.
on.
All right.
And
You're fine. I've got it on, I think I've got it charging. So, oh, you know what? My computer shut down. Let's turn my computer back on. All right. Awesome. So unless anybody else, because we've heard everything Denise needed to say, has anything to say about the tennis courts, we're going to move on to the next agenda item.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. We'll see you at the walkthrough. Okay.
Bye.
All right. So, Kristen, if you don't mind, we're going to do applications last. We have to do closed meetings, so I'm just going to get through everything really quick. Okay. So, skate park, they have, Narbear wrote out to me. They got me a start date. Why did I not write it down on here? Oh, they've got me for May. I think they've got us for May. I have forwarded, hopefully, the necessary information to Beth. And, yep, he's got us for a start, May 16th.
What about all the stuff that's in there now that doesn't belong to us?
There's only one thing in there that doesn't belong to us, and I believe that's the concrete blocks.
I thought everything was trash. No? So the 2x4 that's sitting on the ground, that's some kind of skate park thing?
I'm gonna have to double check and look at it all. The last time I looked at it, which wasn't that recently, all I didn't recognize was the concrete blocks, and I think
That
there
have
was
a
a
rail.
board or two on it.
Okay.
I don't know if that board's off of it, and if that's the board that you saw or whatnot, but
I don't know, I don't know
I'm,
that stuff.
I'm assuming what I would recommend, but whatever the board feels, when they're there to do everything, talk to them on what's savable, fixable, move, keep, that kind of thing, and be advised on that. If we want to go as a board earlier and decide, because what
We
was
really
happening.
should look at it because again, it's a safety thing possibly. So we really should go over and look at it
Are those
as a
thing-
group.
Are those, whatever those are, ramps things, are
They're-
they attached to the ground or
No.
they just?
No.
Should they be attached to the ground?
The highway department just came and picked them up when they were broken last time. I don't know if you want to attach them to the ground because of freezing and thawing. I have no idea how that would,
Maybe
how
that's
that
a
would work
question
or not
we
work.
should ask
I don't know how
our-
safe they are, to be honest.
Ask.
Like Denise said, we should look at that. It is a safety concern. We removed a bunch of things that
So,
were safety concerns
Either we
there,
want to
so-
meet there, pick a date and meet there as a group and decide and talk and have a site walkthrough or whatnot, or wait until they're coming to put in the equipment and then make decisions then. What does the board
I think
feel
we
that they
should
want
meet
to do?
before they come so that we can get rid of stuff before they come.
What do you think?
I would say same thing.
What do you think, John?
I'd like to get their opinion on what's there. If it's usable and safe, then do they stay attached to the ground or are they okay to be moved?
So only having 3 features come, I don't feel that what we have there is gonna be in the way. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's not a
So-
safety
Yeah.
issue, but Lisa brings up a good point. We don't know what kind of material that's made out of.
Right.
I'm assuming plywood of some
Right,
sort.
yeah, I'm
But I
pretty
don't
sure.
know if it's marine grade or
Right.
outdoor, or is it just,
The one disadvantage we may have is they're probably gonna work Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. So now we have not as maybe Dave with his work at home schedule, maybe Denise, kind of who's available to be there when they're there. I have a pretty flexible work schedule, so I might be
Are
able
they
to,
building
so.
these things on site or are
No,
they?
it's building in their
Janine?
warehouse and delivering, yep,
If it's after the 22nd, I'm happy to meet them down there and be there. And I will just remind everybody, last year when I sent out that photo document,
yep,
there are a number of pictures of the skateboard park.
yeah, I was
And
trying
you
to
will
find
see
that
exactly
tonight.
what pieces of equipment are there and what state of disrepair they're in. Because I do think some of them may need to be, if they haven't been removed, may need to be removed or might be removed because we're putting new ones in.
I was trying to find the document you sent us.
I'll resend it to all of you tonight. It's
yeah.
a PDF, so you should be able to open it. but,
That's the thing, I know I have it. I
five
think
pictures
it's,
of the
I
park.
think it's on my PC and not my laptop is the problem, so. But yeah, but,
I'll resend it.
okay. So, I mean, if everybody's on board with, waiting until Narbear is there
Yeah.
and seeing it, I mean, do you like that idea, Dave?
I'd like to be there earlier than that, but I'll go down
If you
myself
wanna
and
pick
look.
a date and see who can meet you, you know what I mean? I can do that.
we can just.
We can go and talk
why don't
before.
we just plan a site walk on a Saturday?
Okay,
We don't have to meet during the week, if we're gonna be meeting, we just have to post it as a meeting.
yep.
We can do it as a site walk there.
And we only need 24-hour notice. Do you want to do it as
That's
soon as,
fine.
do you want to do it as soon as possible? I don't know what this Saturday looks
He
like
said
for people. I can do,
What's the weather gonna be like?
Saturday's not a problem for me.
hold on, I have,
This weekend's Easter, is that gonna affect you?
Nope.
I have, I can do really early or later. I have to get Cassie to riding lessons smack in the middle of the day.
Early.
Early's great for me. What does the weather look like on Saturday? Not that it's not going to change, because it's a week away practically.
Doesn't matter.
Saturday looks like a 50% chance of rain, so that's anybody's guess. All right, so pick a time. What time do people like? How early is early? 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, that's fine, something like that.
All right, let's do 9 a.m.
Okay. Chase, so skate park 9 a.m., but Denise won't be here yet.
We
but-
can
No, I
FaceTime her in.
We
That's
can,
right, that's fine though.
okay. All right,
And I'm sending that inventory right now, so you should all have it when you get home tonight.
okay. What did we say? We said 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m.?
9.
9 a.m., okay. Perfect.
Do we wanna just do do a group site walk of the tennis court so we can all see it at the same time?
May as well.
That's fine with me, yeah.
And take Denise's pictures and we can verify that nothing's grown.
Yep,
This way you guys can form your own opinion.
Yeah.
And then bring it to the Board of Selectmen.
that sounds perfect to me. So I have to email. Okay, I don't have Wi-Fi here. So I have to email
Where do you-
Naomi to get our walkthrough on public notice.
where do you want to start? Chase Park or skate park or tennis courts?
Yeah, we'll start at the skate park. All right, that is April 16th, 9 a.m., and that is skate park tennis court walkthrough. Okay.
Hey, Janine, I had one question I forgot to ask you. Did you want me to send those photos of the tennis courts to the select board? Or-
They do like emails. They like to have as much information as they can, and if you want to also write how, just a basic broad statement of how you feel and your recommendation as a WAC, as a WPC player. You know what I mean? They want to hear community feedback. They are very receptive to that, so they would
I
really.
just wanted to make sure I wasn't stepping out of line with.
No, because
not at all.
because you have, like you said, you have two
Every-
hats.
yeah.
You're a citizen also, and you can say, I'm writing this as a citizen that plays in the court 5 days a week, or you know what I mean.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Just
That
wanted to double check.
that would be awesome. Okay, so site skate park tennis court 9 a.m. April 16th. Okay, they're gonna come May 16th. I've started with Beth on what I need to do to get the deposit started so they can buy materials. And then we also are talking about a sign, use at own risk. Well, when we're there for the site walk, we can look to see if there's still a sign, if it's legible, if we need to replace it. So I think that was a concern before.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have anything, oh boy. This is some of my inventory, some of my, sorry, some of the agenda is a little reused from last month. We don't have any March meetings for field directors usage sports. So, field usage forms. I know that you went down, John, to Bolton. I don't know if you got to the back from your pictures. It seemed like you're up high, kind of taking a picture of the fields, but
Yep, so as it got darker and darker, I was on the phone with Lisa, and I did manage to walk to the far side near where the gate is, so that would be the northern part. I couldn't see anything. I could see the batting cages, because she told me what they were.
yep.
But I didn't see anything that was out of place, abnormal.
Okay, were you walking around in the actual grass?
No.
Okay, because a lot of the broken things, the grass is pretty tall, so you
No,
kind of
the
see it.
grass is matted.
Okay, so it's not super tall. Okay, so from your view, what it sounds like right now.
They cleaned it up.
Yeah, they did, because it's not easy to hide a broken soccer net. They're big tubes
So
and
now
pieces
there
and
were-
everything.
There were some tubular items that were more towards the playground,
Right,
that appeared to be in disrepair. So I'm guessing they probably took them out of there and brought them over to.
they earmark for fixing or disposal.
Good possibility.
Okay,
I didn't know if there was some field damage, but not intentional, not like four-wheelers or anything like
Okay.
that. They were large wooden blocks, would be my guess, that had created an indentation.
oh,
Yes, I don't know exactly what they were, but I saw them on both fields.
okay,
So
that's weird.
probably be a good idea to have the lawn care guy.
That-
Take a look
See
at
if we can,
flatten those out maybe. I'm sure they got weighted
He'd
rollers.
just a roller, yeah, he would just have a water-filled roller, yeah.
Yep.
Is that something you can,
so they
than
are,
that,
where are they?
at the football field and the soccer field, he said, basically,
fields.
it looks
Not-
like a block of wood.
Halfway mark?
He said the halfway mark. A block of wood has been pushed down in and made like a divot recess, like damage to, I know, it's peculiar, but,
It
Okay.
is. It's like something was sitting there all winter long and then they moved it.
right,
Huh.
right, which is possible. I mean,
I don't know.
I found
But
weird
I
things
saw
in the
them on
lake.
Both fields as I was walking through, because I tripped on the northern one.
So you'll talk to Pete?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
And then the tarp that was just hanging over the fence.
Yeah, Lisa
I think
said
that
they need that there.
That, yeah, I think that is most likely what they put on if they know it's gonna rain right before a baseball game.
To cover the mound
Cover
and
the
stuff?
mound to
I
keep
can
it dry.
See it easily walking away or being mistaken
Yeah,
for
I
trash.
know.
Yeah.
I will say that I left my hose down there for all of last season
was
and
your
the
hose?
season before, yeah, and nobody walked away with
I
it,
was
which
gonna
was
say,
really
we
nice.
went and we saw a hose up there and we were looking at it
Yeah,
last.
because I had to keep watering that, because it was so bad, we were watering the grass ourselves.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can ask Joe about the tarp, maybe just they're storing it so it doesn't blow away, maybe? Or you want me to write to
We
him?
may have actually blown it there for all we know.
I think it's just laid over that so that it would drain. I
Okay.
don't know that it's
Or
really.
it blew
Okay.
because it was on the field and it
I mean,
blew
if
to
somebody's
that
really that
spot. And
concerned, I mean, as long as it doesn't blow on the grass and kill the grass.
Right, so
No,
we'll
if
keep an
anything,
eye on
it'd
it.
Go into the parking lot.
Yeah.
All right. So we can keep an eye on it when we get there and look at it. Okay,
And then just general trash pickup, but
yeah, and there's
you're gonna get that.
usually, yep, usually a couple organizations do that. Okay,
Or Lisa.
right. Well, and some of
Lisa
the,
did it like 6 times last year.
so that brings up a note that John said, general trash pickup. So, the Girl Scouts wrote to us in February about wanting to come back and do a Bolton cleanup again and plant a tree, at Bolton. And I know that they since have replied because
we've been
I
back
didn't
and
bring it
forth.
up. But I don't know if a tree location or tree type got picked, because I
Yeah.
only got to
So-
see one email you replied to. I
Yeah,
didn't
tree
get any
type was
extras.
picked, but we're gonna talk on the phone about location.
What type of tree?
Maple.
Maple
Because
tree?
the other was an oak, and I don't want any acorns, so.
Okay.
I said no
And
to oak.
as far as location goes, you mean you're gonna talk on the phone like when they're there, or
We're
like,
gonna talk about where it could go,
okay,
so
okay.
that's all.
I only got one of the emails.
Unless somebody has any ideas about locations. I liked the idea of having some, like at the edge of the playground, so we have some shade, because that playground is
No, I'll-
horribly hot.
I'm fine if you, yeah, that sounds good to me, unless anybody else
What
has any.
size tree are they planting?
It's gonna be, you said a maple's gonna be a little sapling, it's gonna take 100 years to do anything. No. So,
all I would do is make sure you're at least, 4 feet out, 3 or 4 feet off that fence.
Yeah,
Yeah, the root ball
course.
is gonna be the biggest issue.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they won't be able to
20,
plant
30 years.
it. They won't.
The only problem is also all the leaves coming down in the fall, because that's gonna end up on,
yeah, but there's a lot of trees
That's not a
there.
problem.
And, I mean, and Eversource already did a maple for us, in there, so. We want shade, there's leaves.
Oh.
They're just, they add on to the wood chips, right? All right, good, so that's not being forgotten, thank you, because that was me not being able to follow through. And while I remember, Parc got an email today, Nicole Goulette from Cub Scout Pack 24. They're requesting permission to do fundraising at Chase Park this summer. They'd like to sell prepackaged items, water, candy, snacks, possibly ice cream. They're trying to figure out what permission, what's required, can they do this, what they need from us. So, I know last year we gave the robotics, permission.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay. 2 years ago, we granted them permission to set up a table on the grass and sell
For like a week, a day or
a
something.
day or something like that. So, since Kristen is here, did that go okay? It wasn't a problem or anything like that when they were there? The COVID year?
I don't think they did very much.
No, they didn't do very well, but I mean, on the lake's behalf of you being the supervisor, did you see any problem with it? No?
The biggest problem was that they took parking when we were at 50%
Okay,
on a busy weekend.
all
So
right. So, so what we could request if if we grant them permission and they request a busy weekend, maybe we have them park kind of where you kind of put staff down by the boat
Just
ramp
ask them
maybe
to
or
come
something?
in as few cars as possible.
Limit the amount of vehicles you allow in.
Would that help? Okay, all right.
They
So-
could, they could always drop the kids off and then leave, have the adults there, drop the kids off, and then leave, unless the families are gonna stay there, like at the,
Well, and if they all have Chase Park stickers, it doesn't matter.
Right, right. But if they can,
I don't want to be responsible for other people's minor children.
right,
Oh, no, no, no.
oh, they couldn't be left without the pack leadership there. So there will be scout
They
leaders
have a
with
rule
them.
of 2 leaders per certain number of children, so they can't break their rules. So no, they'll be supervised. She means is not every mom and dad has to stay. You don't need 15 parents for 15 kids, kind of thing. They have, it's always 2 leaders, and it's all, I don't remember if it's either 8 or 9 kids they have to, then they have to have another leader. Okay, so is the board, okay with this? Do we need to vote, or just kind of a mutual, it's fine thing?
I think it's okay.
I would
Okay.
just say maybe the busy weekend of July 4th, no.
Have we been full capacity parking yet? You said you had 2 days last year?
It was 2 years ago,
Yep,
and I think they only did it one day.
yep.
What was
No, I
the
meant-
capacity last year?
I meant the parking lot.
No, I mean, in general, did you ever have any capacity days throughout?
Yeah, just regular this
You
season.
did?
Yes, but we weren't limited.
No, it was never like,
It wasn't very often, or
no, it wasn't very often. We had a lot of rain last year, so that didn't really help us.
July and August?
So,
If you had to guess, how many full capacity days?
I would say maybe 5, mostly Saturdays.
Okay.
Okay,
But it was something that we didn't like go on like a 2-hour wait or anything like that. People waited 1 or 2 cars and then we got them in as we could. So
okay, so it really
it was
wasn't,
never horrific.
okay, all right. Do we need them to tell us when they're gonna come, like what days?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
And I think I think they should be able to do 4th of July only because this is this would be one of their big fundraising.
yeah, this is how they're
Events.
really gonna get the money,
They
so-
won't, because they won't be there the weekend of the patriotic celebration because they're at the patriotic celebration.
Do you normally have room for another car or 2 over in the employee kind of area, or no? Is it usually
There
filled up?
really is no employee.
I know, but you put people on the side by the boat ramp.
But that's my car
Yeah.
because most of our employees don't drive.
Okay,
So it's not really an employee area. I take that small spot by the boat ramp.
right,
Because a boat can't fit there
right,
and then I'm not taking a lot spot.
right.
Um,
I just wasn't sure if there was room for another car next to yours or something or not. No, okay,
the next
I would
spot
just
over is
limit,
a long
limit
way.
how many
Yep,
vehicles, no more,
okay.
no more than 2.
all right, that's fine. Well, but like Lisa said, if they have stickers and they, they go to
But
the
if they're,
park.
only if they're planning to be there for the
Right,
day. Like
right.
if they're taking the rest of their family
Yep.
there,
Right.
you know.
Nope, I completely agree. Okay, let us know what days. All right, anything other? All right, limit cars, carpool, 2 cars max. More comments, more concerns?
Nope.
I mean, they don't need any permits as long as what they sell is packaged.
Yep. And they're gonna wanna tie in, if they're gonna be selling ice cream,
They're gonna wanna,
they're gonna need to tie into the electricity at the,
can they plug into the bathroom? Is there an outlet in the bathroom?
There's outlets over the,
Not in the stall area.
No,
There's
well,
an outlet in the
Outside.
center part.
Could
Is
you run
there
an
one
extension
in-
cord from there out?
They could run an extension. cord.
okay.
isn't there one over
Yeah,
in
bring
the,
your own
in the
extension cord then.
pavilion? Is there an outlet? No.
I would think they'd wanna be in the grass though, over by the the flat.
I was
grass
just trying to
area.
figure out where there was an outlet, that's all.
They also need to self-support.
I didn't know
their
if-
change. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not
They're
there.
not,
You have
they're
no
not
change.
Yep.
coming to us for change or anything like that, like, we take care of our part.
Got it. Somebody gave me the not working pen.
Police their trash.
Oh. Somebody wasn't happy with it.
Jimmy, I don't know if
There you
heard
go,
that.
you can
I
use
got
that
it.
one.
Okay.
Police trash, yep.
And if it's the same troop that usually visits us for like,
This is the youngest kids.
the swimming lesson prep, like, we've always had very good luck with the scouts when they come and they camp out, or they come to get ready for that week of camp. We've never had any trouble with them and trash left behind, so that's a positive.
Okay. This is the younger group. It's, boys and girls. And they'll eventually be the ones camping there and doing the swim lessons for the older park. And a lot of them are younger siblings of the same family, so. All right, bring their own change, okay. Okay, let us know what days, packaged food only, extension cord they need to supply to run a fridge or freezer, and they must bring all their own change and police their own trash, okay? I will let them know. Thank you.
Are you staying on Chase Park, or are we going back to Bolton?
I'm just doing the emails that came in from the outside, so I was kind of bouncing around. So I'm gonna do one more thing that I got in, and then we'll go to Bolton. The next thing is actually Bolton's. So I got a text from a coach for WAC baseball about, repainting at Bolton Park, the baseball area, and wanting the donated park paint.
Oh,
So,
when was that?
so Mrs. Provencher texted me,
Oh, okay.
this evening. They coach at least one baseball team, if not two, and they're gonna be at Bolton. And they wanted to paint over the graffiti. They said there was
There's
graffiti on the bench in a shed.
Oh,
And so they knew that the paint had been donated from Miles Lanier's Eagle Project, and it's just Park, it's in my basement. So they had requested that so as long as everybody's okay with that, I'll hand it over to them, Thursday night, and then they'll use it to paint, park buildings at Bolton, so, okay, as long as, all right, so that's okay.
Just is whatever they don't use, we get back.
Yep, and should they, at this point being summer, should I have them return it to the lake, since that's who's gonna use it next? Would that be good, or is there no place to put paint there, or
we would only,
you'd have a place to put paint?
Yeah, we have that shed.
but we need an appointment to have it brought to
Once the
us,
lake's
yeah.
open.
Yeah, when the lake's
It would have to
open.
be after Memorial Day, because the
Yep.
freezing temperatures before
I
that.
was to say, don't have them just drop it off.
So after Memorial Day, please return
Yeah, but if they're
leftovers.
trying to get the graffiti off now, because it's,
No, I just didn't want them to think that they could just drop it at the lake. We
Yeah.
need to,
Yeah.
yep, somebody needs to be there.
We'll figure it out. Don't throw away the leftovers.
they just, yeah, don't get,
They're very resourceful people. I highly doubt that they'll just throw it away.
They're
Okay,
not going to.
all right, so.
just putting it on record.
No, I wrote it. That's perfect. It's on record. It's written. I'll convey the message. Okay, so Bolton Park. So I had, on the email, I had the Girl Scout cleanup and the tree planting, which we went over. So it's gonna be a maple, probably near the edge for shade. Porta potty, I know, we're gonna be on the Hednicker septic wait list forever. There is another company called Drop One. They actually have porta potties at Duck Pond Estates, so they're locally delivering if you wanna call for a price. We locked into Guardian.
I had to lock in.
Okay, but if you
Or we're
wanna
gonna
call
lose it.
for a price for drop one for next season, if Henniker's still not, and we wanna get
I
rid of
believe I
Guardian?
called them last year and they were more expensive.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure I called them.
okay, I believe you. I'm just saying they were in the area, so I knew
No,
they
there was a
delivered to
reason that
where.
we didn't go with them and it was
How
unconscious.
long
Okay.
is this wait list with Henniker?
And when they get more porta
They,
potties.
porta potties are in short supply. You can't even find them right now. They can't replace them. They have more people wanting them and they can't even buy them.
We're just not happy with Guardian, with them not coming, not being thorough, not being receptive to cleaning the mess and taking care of them very much, so it's kinda like we'd like to replace them, but,
Well, there's no reason we can't look elsewhere.
which she has been.
We've tried, but
Nobody there. See, the problem is it's a shortage like everywhere.
Or they're a lot more
There's-
expensive.
They're either way more expensive or it's sorry we don't have them.
So we're trying to be-
I've literally had people laugh at me and say you and everybody else. I don't have them to give you. Sorry.
Back knows that there's probably not gonna be porta potties at these facilities.
Oh no, there will
No,
be.
we got them
I-
from American Guardian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
we're staying with American Guardian, but we want to leave them.
Okay, we're trying to switch.
Well,
we're
if
not
they,
out.
if
Yeah,
American
we're not
Guard-
without.
if American Guardian can do a little bit better this year, that would be great.
Yeah.
They're keeping the same price. They're very nice to deal with, by the way. They're super nice to deal with. We just had a couple times where things didn't get cleaned. So,
Well, there's
but-
the office and then there's the field.
yes.
The field staff.
I was
so-
just looking at this, I was under the impression we didn't have any.
No,
No,
we
no, we have
have,
'em.
we have porta potties. So yeah, we do have the American Guardian contract.
Yeah, and I've tried to reduce down the everything. We're trying to cut corners with porta potties. We're trying to cut corners with dumpsters. The prices have all gone up. So
Wood chips. Did we vote on buying wood chips and having Stockhouse spread them out?
I don't think we approved.
What did we vote on last?
We were waiting to see what happened with the budget, with
It's
the
8
budget.
o'clock, Janine.
Okay. All right.
We had a price, it was $2,600 for the chips, $400 for delivery, and then it was $16.75 for spreading and weed
But we
trimming.
didn't vote.
We didn't vote on it. I think we were waiting, I have a note, we're waiting on budget.
Okay.
So I think we were waiting to see what
We-
our,
Yeah, we got not the budget we wanted, so.
yes.
Okay, all right.
So I think we're gonna have to wait on the wood chips till,
So John, okay. We have a lot to do tonight, so I have to move forward. So does anybody, looking at Bolton Park really quick, I ordered the plastic flat windows from Piedmont Plastics. They confirmed they have they have an approximate finish date, April 16th. So they'll reach out to me then, and they're all paid for, so they should be, I should be able to pick them up very soon to that time. And then, does anybody else have anything?
I'm curious, the dumpster, Weare PD contract.
Okay,
It's
so
because they have their own contract, is a little bit cheaper.
we were gonna see,
So we were gonna try to see if we could try to piggyback, but yeah,
Denise, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I was wondering when you're home in New Hampshire, if you were possibly interested in putting the sunshade back up at Bolton Park since you took them down and you knew how that worked. And if you were interested in doing that or able to do that at your convenience, there is a brand new one that has never been installed at Mike's Custom Canvas, which is in Weare and River Road, waiting for us to pick up. It's all paid for and install. And I wasn't sure if if you were able or interested in any of those things.
Yeah, I can do both of them actually, and I'll have Bruce help me, because he helped me take it down, and we took photos,
Okay,
so we would know how to put it back up, and he was familiar with the pieces of the.
the turnbuckles.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we're back, we should, if all goes well, we should be back on the 22nd.
okay,
Based on needing to kind of stretch it a little bit, we'd have to pick a warm day.
okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I can take ownership for doing those.
Okay.
If you could just email me where the contact person to pick the other one up, so I can call them before I
yep,
show up.
yep.
that'd be great.
That would be awesome, and Mike's really awesome to work with, and like I said, he's right on River Road. He's not
Okay.
too far or anything like that, so that would be amazing. That would really be awesome. And yeah, whatever warm day you pick is that would be perfect. And if it's a weekend, you can let me know, and I'll be around usually.
As far as getting the one we brought back, 'cause I think it's in the town hall, right?
Yep.
Can we just go in and get it?
Yeah, it's not locked or anything, right, Lisa?
No, it's not locked.
Yeah, it's not locked. So if town offices are open, you can go down and get it. Yeah, there's
Okay.
no problem. If they're not open, then you'd need a key from Lisa or something, but yeah. And they're open on Wednesday nights too later. So, cause they have to keep down there open, cause that's where the bathrooms are.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Denise. I really, really appreciate that help.
No problem.
And then, all right, so to move along, unless anybody has any more questions, I reached out to Burke to get the new quote. I just did that recently, so now it's on me, waiting to hear back, because we had the bubble windows and the slide exit tube. We only need the slide exit tube, so I reconnected. Hopefully I'll hear back from them in a couple days with new numbers, so we can replace the exit tube. Anybody else, Bolton Park?
no,
All right, so let me make sure before we jump to Chase Park, did we have anything else? Anybody have anything for Inison? It's kind of at the same point, I think. The fields are still wet. Stockhouse is looking into them. WAC is working at fixing up the shed.
Yeah, the fields are wet, it's unfortunate, we're
Okay,
hoping to get that all
Purington,
done soon.
WAC said they are not gonna use the snack shack at all whatsoever, no matter what. So we don't have to worry about them getting hurt or causing any more damage. We have to assess that building at some point ourselves. And then hopefully the bleachers will get moved to close the car traffic gap.
Right now, there's a picnic table blocking it.
Okay, good. There's something. Did you do that? Thank you, John. Thank you. All right.
What's wrong with the snack shack?
There's a hole in the floor.
It should be condemned.
Yeah.
Then why don't we tear it down then?
We can. I think that would just be DPW. If that's what the board feels is good, then,
Well, if it's that much of a safety issue, they're not gonna use it, and you're saying it should be condemned, then let's condemn it and make it go away.
how do we feel, everybody? The snack shack at
The
Einstein?
baby
I'd like to go look
some
at
it. Purrington.
from the transfer station.
The only thing of value that is in the shed is the refrigerator and freezer, and if WAC finds somebody to take that out and put it somewhere to store it, that would be,
What if
And
we-
WAC doesn't have anything in there right now?
They might have some equipment, but not very much. on the
I'm
other
no
end of
longer
it.
on the board, so I don't.
So-
know
I
what
can,
they have there.
I can go,
So let's ask WAC, I mean, if the consensus is to take the building down altogether, let's give WAC till the end of April to get that stuff out. And then that gives them 3+ weeks to make
But it-
arrangements.
But is that hooked right into the back of the
It's not,
dugout?
no,
Or are they
no,
two
no, no,
separate?
It's
dugouts are,
freestanding.
Okay.
it's in the middle, the dugouts are
Was
on,
the snack shack the one that blew over a couple years?
No, that was the third
Dugout.
base
Dugout.
dugout.
Oh, okay.
how does everybody feel about it being torn down and disposed of from the DPW?
100%.
well, I would like to go look at it. I just haven't seen it.
I take Pam's word for it that it's rotten and somebody's gonna die. No, just kidding.
My
I know,
only-
I believe
my
you,
only
I'm not
thing
saying that.
is, where's the money coming from to fix
Can
it?
I just,
I
yeah,
don't-
can we
oh,
go, can we
right.
just go look at it, please? Would that be all right?
All right, do you wanna add it on to our walkthrough? Do we wanna drive over there afterwards?
Add it to the sidewalk.
And John will be almost home?
Yeah.
All right, we'll add it on to our walkthrough.
When are we doing the walkthrough?
I just know
Thank
that,
you.
9 AM
April
Saturday.
16th, this Saturday, 9 AM. We're gonna do the skate park, just to see what's left behind and what we do and don't like.
Let me put it on my,
Tennis court. I was going to text you.
I have an appointment at noon, that I had noon in Concord, so I have to be done by 11:30, but
And I think meeting at 9, we should be able to pull that off, I think, because I have to get Cassie to Warner before noon, around noon too, so. Okay, and Purrington. Okay, so our walkthrough on April 16th, 9 AM will be skate park, tennis court, Purrington. Okay. And then we'll make the final consensus, and then we will definitely, follow through with WAC removing their belongings if we feel that way, and then contact the DPW.
So that is a town, so the Board of Selectmen accepted that building? The Board of
If they did, it was right 20 or 30 years ago, yeah.
Yes.
Board of Selectmen have to be the one to,
Condemn it.
yes.
So we can give her, so once
it would have to be a park recommendation.
we meet, we can recommend it
Yep.
on the 18th for a meeting, on their 18th meeting, okay.
That can actually just be an email from either the chairperson or the director,
Okay,
unless you all want me to bring it up
okay,
as ex officio, that's up to you folks.
okay.
I will need to get a set of keys, because I no longer have the keys.
I don't have keys
To the
for
snack
that
shack?
either.
Yes.
And I
yeah.
should have keys. We should have had keys, but I don't have them. So I'll have to ask.
To be able to get in to see
Yeah.
how it looks. Can you get keys, or should one of us try to get them?
I can get them, Chris and Sargent has them as far as I know.
Okay, so you can get them by Saturday?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So we don't need to talk about the gazebo. The future business will stay future business. So if everybody's okay, we'll move on to Chase Park. Okay,
Well, okay, hang on. So Chase Park, we're just gonna
we're gonna
do,
talk a little bit about everything really quick.
we're gonna do the boat ramp and then go to closed session, right?
So
Yes.
oh, sorry, I have a,
Same thing's happening here.
so the gates are still open.
Oh, yeah.
Completely.
I don't think is there, last
There's
year I didn't.
there's no ice houses there when I
Oh,
was
good,
there.
then I
They're
can
all
close them.
removed.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, what about, my only question was, we weren't gonna lock them because they were gonna try, DPW was gonna try to work on the. boat
they
ramp.
have keys, don't they?
Yeah, they should have keys.
If not, there's a lockbox they can get through. There should be a lockbox on there, fire department uses.
For the,
Yeah,
okay, I don't, okay, I believe you.
yeah, it's on the thing. Yep, so it needs to be locked. I can do that.
Okay,
Or.
last I,
have
Kristen,
concerns
I think
about
I had to
this
use your
rebar
keys last year.
issue At the waterfront.
okay,
What are we doing to mitigate that issue?
So, here's the concern that we've talked about this a couple times. There's rebar there. Kristen, can you do me a huge favor? Could you answer this?
do you have a ride for Ryland, or do you
I
need?
think that, well, this is part of the problem, I think.
If you don't have a ride for Ryland, I mean, Ryan can go get them.
Yeah, I don't know where
Craig
anybody
can bring
is.
them home.
Thank you. So again, it's waterfront stuff, so if we were to, some of the rebar ends up underwater part of the time, because it's at the bottom step. or it might be the second step up, but sometimes it's covered in water. So do we need to use our same, do we need to get a whole other permit for that?
To remove stuff? I wouldn't think so.
Oh, it's not removal, we're gonna, because we can't remove it, there's rebar, it needs cement put in,
We have to cover it up.
we need to cover it up.
I
Can we just cut the rebar?
I don't know,
was under the impression once we had a permit, it was for the shoreline. If we're repairing with like material, which is exactly what we're doing, we're repairing with like material.
When are they putting the boards in?
oh,
They
I
put-
have the same question.
That's public record. Hang on, that's on the DES. It's in May.
So if we're gonna, so,
It's like 2 or 3 weeks before Memorial Day. I think because it's
Well, they
fully,
did it
it's
early
fully
last-
raised the week before Memorial Day
they did it
typically.
early last year, if I remember correctly, and screwed everybody.
Well, we weren't ready anyway.
Well, I'm just thinking, if that permit does cover for pouring concrete to fix this, we need to do that now before it gets too late.
I don't know where the
They have to be
DP.
warm
So
enough
last
to
time
do
I
it.
talked to Naomi,
In
she
the
said
rain.
that the Heritage Bureau was all a go and the conservation was all a go. She was waiting for the paperwork to get back from the state. We had no more hurdles. And then she was gonna get the DPW out there to fix it. I don't know if the permit has come from the state
Saturday morning, go over there too?
and if the DPW. Well, until Pam and I have to leave, we can go to as many places as we want.
Okay.
We could visit everybody if we wanted
Start
to.
earlier?
Well, I don't
Well, that's a
care.
good point, I mean, if we're hitting all these, do
May as well.
we hit just all the?
Do we go to Bolton and Purington too, Inison too?
You start at the south end.
I don't
and
think
work
we
our way
need-
north? Seems that everybody's heading north anyway.
It's up to you. What do you think? Do you think we need to go to Bolton or Inison?
I don't think we have to go to Bolton.
It would just be to walk and talk about
I
stuff.
really don't think we have to. I think that the lake and the tennis courts and the skate park are all actual safety concerns.
What do you think about Inison?
I don't think there's any issues at Inison except for the stairs, and
And those are being redone right now.
have someone working
They've
on
actually
those.
they're already, yeah.
All right, so we'll add Chase Park. So
Where are
then,
we gonna start
we'll
then?
still start at the skate park and the tennis courts, move to Chase Park and then Purington. It's kind of that direction.
Yeah.
It is.
Let's just start at Chase Park, it's easier.
You want to start at Chase Park?
Just tell me where we're
Start at
starting.
Chase Park and then work your way around.
And then go all the way back past Chase Park to go to Purington?
You don't go by Chase Park to get to Barrington.
You don't take 114?
He wants to go backwards. It's fine.
Well, it's closer to Dave's house if we start at Chase Park, right?
Yeah.
It's closer to my house, so we start at the skate park and Lisa's. No, I'm just-
I don't
I'm-
care. Just
You want to start at Chase Park?
I don't care where we start.
Do we want to start earlier?
It's 8:14. I gotta pick up
I know.
Alan in a couple minutes.
Well, do you want,
You just said-
then pick what time and where we're starting.
Can we let's start at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're not gonna have time
Okay?
on Saturday morning, and
Where?
we will start at Chase Park.
Okay. Perfect. That's all I need. I tried a consensus, I just need somebody to say it. Okay. So that'll answer the rebar question when we go and we look. So we have to reach out to Naomi on what the permit covers.
I can have questions.
I'm gonna message Mark right now.
Still like to find out what that light pole is.
I need you here for, I really need you here
Be nice
probably
if we
more
get
than
that
I need for
actually.
these.
I thought we had an answer for that. I don't
If
remember.
there was, I never heard it.
Naomi was gonna talk to the town electrician to look at it.
Okay.
I don't know if that, because I know he looked at the one at the tennis court and he removed anything that was hazardous
Did
wire-wise.
the electrician show up? Don't bother
the
him,
Chase
just
Park?
let him come in and do his thing? No.
Did he come?
didn't yet.
Okay.
Follow up with Naomi then.
Can you follow up? Because I think that there
Well, I
might be
think
something
you
wrong
should
with my
just-
email.
I mean, if we gotta shoot her an email to,
I haven't had
I
any
typically
response.
try to go in and talk to her because
She's too busy.
I don't hear back from emails either.
the meeting has to be posted, so.
No, I go in and personally just ask her questions.
Okay.
That's just to come back and bring it to you. Hey, this is what Naomi said.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know, I really liked the Zoom meetings because she was right there and she'd answer us. It was amazing. I loved it.
She hated it.
I know she hated it because she had to be at every single meeting all the time. Okay, so any more information about Chase Park? We're gonna meet there. We can ask about the light post, rebar, permit, email Naomi. Okay, anybody else before we go on to applications or closed meeting type of stuff, or how does everybody feel?
we're good. Let's go.
Consensus, yes? Oh, we have to vote to move to a closed meeting, right?
And you have to give the RSA
All right.
number.
I don't know the RSA number.
No, but Pam has it memorized.
I
I'm,
don't.
I'm,
John hasn't memorized. It's RSA 91.
91A subsection something, 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 something.
Oh, goodness. Hold on, I may have written it down.
Hang on, I'll call somebody that knows this.
91A, what?
Hang on.
he's getting it. I want 2022, I don't want letdowns, I want raising up.
Hey, you are on speakerphone live with all of Park and all the millions of YouTube viewers. So, don't be too pressured. What is the 91A to do applications? 91A, I know you have this crap memorized.
As far as what? What do you need?
We
need to
want a
go over
closed
91A.
meeting.
I just don't know what the proper section is to do.
Review applications for this year.
It's B.
91A, Roman numeral 2, subsection.
Yeah, 91A, Roman numeral 2, yeah, wait, now you get me out of sequence. A3, Roman numeral 2, B.
Subsection B. Perfect.
91A,
Roman numeral 2,
3, Roman numeral 2,
subsection B.
subsection B.
All right, thanks, Rick.
You got it.
All right.
I move to.
So all it says is drawdown on October 16th. It's not telling me when they're gonna raise it up. It's only telling me drawdown was October 16th. But it's typically a couple weeks before
Okay.
Memorial Day, a week or two. Yeah, they're not
Okay,
saying.
so we're going to 91, hold on.
All right, so you have to make a motion.
Dave was trying.
Dave was,
Go ahead.
Dave was trying to.
I was making a motion that we move to non-public session to review applications for this year for Chase Park. It is.
Second.
You have to say the RSA, right?
What is it, 91? I never.
91A3, Roman numeral 2B.
Section B.
Subsection B.
And then after we will adjourn.
And we will not be coming back out of public session. We will be
Into public.
adjourning. We're coming back to public session.
I second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
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 All right, we'll now start our closed
Good
session.
night, folks. Thank you for watching.